From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
Thunder fans have a new man to cheer on. For the first time, Carmelo Anthony landed in Oklahoma City as part of the home team. Fans packed in at Will Rogers to give him an Oklahoma welcome just one day after we told you about the trade deal that would bring the star to the Metro. Fox 25's Jordan Lucero is live. Jordan, you waited on Melo for hours out there, just like all the fans.
Yeah, and just like all the fans, I was a little hot for September out there. Also, his plane was delayed by more than an hour. Still, the fans were hyped up. They were excited. And just like it says outside of the peak here, Carmelo Anthony's new home court, these fans think next season cannot start soon enough. Thunder fans.
I predict 2018 champs. That's what I think.
Excited for the new season.
We could win a lot.
Because of the new addition to the team.
We thought we could give the Warriors a run for their money, but I mean, now it's going to happen now. There's like no doubt about it.
It'll make the Thunder a championship contender now.
A whirlwind weekend for Oklahoma City, finding out Saturday about a trade deal that brings Carmelo Anthony to the Thunder.
Oh my God.
Then waiting Sunday in costume.
Hoodie Melo.
At the airport for hours to welcome Melo to his new home. Some are welcoming him to the team.
I gotta support the Thunder.
Some became team fans because of the player.
I'm a new Thunder fan. I'm a diehard Carmelo fan. I've been a Carmelo fan since back in Denver Nuggets days.
After all the waiting, the hype, the man.
This was the single most greatest moment in my life.
OKC! OKC! OKC!
Ooh, go Melo, go Thunder. That's all I can say.
Melo made it to the airport to Oklahoma City and to that loud crowd just about 4 hours ago. They were very excited to see him, but while they were cheering on and loving on Melo out there, we have to say they were also very excited, and they started chanting for the general manager, Sam Presti, who made that trade deal possible. Reporting live in downtown Oklahoma City, Jordan Lucero, Fox 25 News.
All right, so we are all very, very excited about this, but now we are joined by Fox 25 Sports Director Myron Patton for the facts of the situation. What does this mean for us in the Thunder?
Well, at the very least, it makes them a contender to win the Western Conference. Now, it doesn't mean that they're going to win it, but it definitely puts them in the mix to win the West. Golden State's still the team to beat to win the NBA title, but adding Carmelo Anthony to a team that already has Russell Westbrook and Paul George should elevate the Thunder to really compete with the best the West has to offer. We're talking about a 10-time All-Star that has averaged 25 points per game in his career. He was part of that 2003 draft class that featured LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, so he's got some mileage on him, but he can still put the ball in the basket, evidenced by the 22 points and 6 rebounds he averaged last season on 43% shooting. He hit 47% from two-point range, 36 from three, which brought that overall number down to 43. Now, the trade with the Knicks will become official tomorrow. Tomorrow is also media day for the Thunder, so we'll see if he takes part in that. Biggest thing is to get him going into camp because the Thunder have to begin the process of putting all the new pieces together into a team. Melo, Paul George, Russell Westbrook have all been leading role players. Now they have to learn to play with one another as well as the other players on the team.
And big things happening in sports, big things happening in the weather as well. It was nice and hot the past several days, even the past week or so, and today we topped out into the mid and upper 80s. We have things coming our way. A little bit of rain out to the west, more thick, deep moisture way down to the south into Texas. This is moving up to the north, and this is going to collide with a stationary front, which is going to turn into a cold front that's moving through central Kansas right now. It's going to continue to push off to the east, and as we get into tonight and into tomorrow, we will start to see that form into a cold front, which is going to significantly cool us down. Not really that cool for tonight. Low temperature right around 71 degrees. Scattered showers out to the west, but really what happens for tonight, those showers stay west. They will start to move to the east as we go throughout tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, though, looks generally pretty cloudy, but also pretty quiet. Temperatures into the 70s. Afternoon rain showers and storms are likely. We'll talk about that coming up in your Storm Watch forecast.
New at 9, President Trump's criticism sparking mass protests by players at NFL games today. More than 130 players sitting, kneeling, or raising their fists during the national anthem during early games. Fox News correspondent Brian Yenas has more.
NFL players reacting defiantly to President Trump's criticism during national anthems. Dozens of NFL players sitting or kneeling, others standing and locking arms in a show of unity.
When you're 5 years old and you seen your dad have a gun pointed at his head because he looks suspicious in a neighborhood at 6 a.m. because he's dropping his son off at a babysitter, like, it's not about race. It's not about black and white. It's about right and wrong.
This after the president suggested Friday that players who kneel for the national anthem should be fired. Trump tweeting Sunday, quote, "If NFL fans refuse to go to games until players stop disrespecting our flag and country, you will see change take place fast. Fire or suspend."
I think God put us here for a reason and put us here to lead from the front.
Trump also drawing fire from NBA stars, including LeBron James, after rescinding a White House invitation for NBA champion Stephen Curry.
It's just kind of beneath, I think, a leader of a country to go that route. It's not what leaders do.
Before the Jets-Dolphins game in New Jersey, some fans supporting the president's views, others supporting the players, and some wishing the whole controversy would just go away.
If you can't stand for the national anthem, then get the hell off the field.
Look, I'm having a beer. I'm trying to enjoy, Sunday with my wife. We're diehard Jet fans, and we're talking about politics now. It's just like, it's just too much.
The president taking to Twitter on Sunday saying, quote, "Standing with locked arms is good. Kneeling is not acceptable." He also threw in one final hit at the NFL, saying they have, quote, "bad ratings." In East Rutherford, New Jersey, Brian Yenas, Fox News.
We got you back with breaking news from Washington tonight. The Trump administration has unveiled new travel restrictions. Now they'll also apply to foreigners from Chad, North Korea, and Venezuela. The move is a replacement to a central portion of Trump's controversial travel ban signed earlier this year. It bans foreign nationals from select Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S. unless they have a, quote, bona fide relationship with someone already here. The countries already on the list are Iran, Syria, Libya, Somalia, and Yemen. Now to a breaking news update. One woman is dead and 6 other people are wounded after a church shooting in Tennessee. Police say a man gunned down the woman at the parking lot of the church this morning. He then went inside the building and shot the 6 other people who are now at the hospital. The gunman also pistol whipped another person who tried to fight back. Now the victims' families are trying to make sense of it all.
I'm still just in total shock, I can't put a reason to believe that, this is where I grew up, this is the church I grew up in. And to hear something like this is happening, I'm so in shock, I just can't put a reason to it.
In just the last few hours, Nashville police released this photo of the shooter, Emmanuel Sampson. Police say he shot himself during the incident and has been released from the hospital. He'll now face murder charges. New details right now. A deputy who was shot in Ellis County is out of the hospital tonight. Fox 25 first told you about the shooting when it happened yesterday near the town of Fargo. The Ellis County Sheriff's Office says that they were doing a welfare check when Deputy Dave Thomas was shot in the leg. Officials say that as more officers arrived, more shots came from the home after a 9-hour standoff. The home where the person was barricaded caught fire. The suspect never made it out. Now OSBI and the medical examiner are investigating. A group of Oklahomans marched in downtown Oklahoma City demanding justice for Magdiel Sanchez. He is the deaf man shot by police earlier this month. Fox 25 was at that march as it happened this afternoon. With chants, music, and signs, several Oklahoma social justice groups came together at Oklahoma City City Hall and marched toward the Oklahoma City Police Department. Their message, a demand for justice in what they call the unjust shooting of Magdiel Sanchez. Sanchez's family says the man was deaf, nonverbal, and developmentally challenged, and witnesses at the scene say people yelled at police. The man was deaf.
I think this is one of the ones where I've seen the most diversity, and I've seen so many different communities here working together for this cause, and it's beautiful to see that they're doing this.
One activist tells Fox 25 she hopes city officials will take note that many different communities are coming together to protest the shooting. Some of the activists during today's protest say Sanchez's death shows the lack of police education when it comes to people with disabilities.
For me, it's something that you expect in the disability community. We don't get proper treatment from police officers, and they're not educated. And the Americans with Disabilities Act is rather flawed when referencing treatment by police officers.
Sergeant Chris Barnes and a fellow officer were investigating a hit-and-run crash on September 18th and tracked the car to Sanchez's home. Sanchez's father was driving at the time of the crash, but the father could not communicate with police when they arrived because he does not speak English. Police say Sanchez was walking towards officers while holding a pipe. Sergeant Barnes shot and killed Sanchez and is now on administrative leave. New tonight, we've got your back with a warning from Oklahoma City firefighters. They say a chair catching fire forced them to make a daring rescue yesterday. Firefighters tell Fox 25 a woman was trying to get out of a second-story window as smoke filled her apartment. They were able to get her down, but want you to realize even if it's just a small fire, it can produce a lot of dangerous smoke. They say most furniture is made out of synthetic material that can fill your house up with smoke if it lights on fire. They say to check your smoke alarms to make sure they are working. Now to a developing story. Oklahoma City police say they are aware of reports of a baby being found on the side of a metro highway. A Facebook post says a church group was driving on I-40 near Choctaw when they say they saw a car seat on the side of the road. They say they found a little boy inside. We've reached out to the Oklahoma City police and they say that they will release more information on this story tomorrow. New tonight, a 16-year-old is dead after an ATV crash in the town of Payton. It happened yesterday afternoon. OHP says the teen was riding the ATV down a country road when it hit a pickup at the top of a hill. The victim was not wearing a helmet. The driver of the pickup was not hurt. Right now, rescue crews still working to pull survivors out of the rubble after that 7.1 magnitude earthquake in Mexico City that has killed more than 300 people. Among the crew helping in the operation is one from Los Angeles. In the Los Angeles County Fire Department, their urban search and rescue team, very experienced and highly regarded.
The will of somebody to live outweighs anything else. A human being can survive for a number of days, especially if they have a water source. If they're in an area where it's a void space and they've either got some source of water, bottled water, rainwater, as we saw in Haiti, we pulled victims out of the rubble between 7 and 9 days that had a water source. So we never give up because we know there are miracles.
Rescue operations had to be stopped for some time yesterday because of a 6.2 magnitude earthquake that hit Mexico Saturday morning. We've got your back tonight as lawmakers get ready to head back to the Capitol tomorrow to start a special session. They'll be looking at how to fix the state's budget shortfall of $215 million. Members of the House and Senate are expected to remain at the Capitol for up to 2 weeks. Governor Mary Fallin says that she is ready to veto any proposal that further cuts funding to state agencies. She's also asked lawmakers to also consider raising teacher pay for the first time in a decade. Fox 25 will be at the Capitol when that special session starts tomorrow afternoon to bring you updates. Sadly, the fair has come to an end, and here is a live look of the fair tonight. Today was the last day, and things are winding down now. So if you didn't get your fill of all those fried foods this year, you'll have to wait until next September. A big hit for Uber after a major city bans the service. Coming up, where you won't be able to catch a ride with Uber, and we've got your back with why the city officials are saying that the company is putting your safety at risk.
And don't forget that we've got your latest news, traffic, and weather every morning. Start your day with Chris Stanford and Jasmine Anderson from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Good Day OK.
New at 9, a big hit for the ride-hailing service Uber. The company now standing to lose tens of millions of dollars as British officials just decided to ban Uber from operating in London. London's transport regulator officially deemed Uber unfit to operate Friday, saying the company has shown a lack of responsibility on a number of public safety and security issues, specifically Uber's approach to driver background checks and reporting serious crimes. London police accuse Uber of either not reporting or taking too long to report serious crimes like sexual assaults. It's a move that London mayor says he supports.
I want London to be at the forefront of innovation and new technology, but you've got to play by the rules.
Uber says that its drivers pass the same background checks as London's traditional cab drivers, and the company insists it follows all rules on reporting serious incidents. The company is now urging London customers to help them fight that decision by signing an online petition. We've got your back if you're looking for a job right now. JCPenney is hiring 40,000 extra workers to help with the holiday rush. Penny says that it is looking for cashiers and workers to restock its stores, as well as beauty consultants to work at the Sephora makeup shops. If you want to apply, you can head to any JCPenney store on October 17th for a hiring event.
Well, we are looking at a pretty nice night for tonight. Lots of clouds around. It will be pretty mild as well. Low temperature right around 71 degrees. And we do have the shot for some showers way out into western Oklahoma. For tomorrow, we're going to see a lot more cloud cover, which is why out to the west, look at this high temperature, 70 degrees in Woodward, 72 for Elk City. The further east you go, the more sunshine you'll see, and that is easily reflected in those numbers. Check out McAllister, Sallisaw, out towards Okmulgee, right into the 90-degree range. Oklahoma City right in the middle at 81 for your high temperatures. That is dead on normal. We are going to see the chance for some rain showers for tomorrow, so walking the dog, got to recommend you got to do it in the morning. We'll time out those rain showers coming up in your Storm Watch forecast.
A California minister detained by immigration officials finally released.
I want to thank my Lord God to do this miracle for me, and I'm feeling like a free man.
Why he says he should not have been arrested and why he's struggling in his fight to gain citizenship.
The following segment is sponsored by Parrish Devon Injury Lawyers.
Pepper and I are joined here with the folks from North Care. We have Paul Williams with us. Who's with you today?
We have Amy Davis. She's one of our care navigators, and Donulette Delaney Hamilton, and she's one of our therapists.
It's a huge mission here. We were talking, you guys serve over 10,000 people a year. What kind of services are you providing?
Mainly as a certified community behavioral health clinic, we serve children, youth, and families, as well as adults who have been impacted by trauma, mental illness, addiction, family conflict, struggles with parenting, difficulties preserving the family unit.
And when they come to you, they might not have the ability to pay for these services otherwise.
That is very correct. Our main mission is to serve those who would not otherwise have access to high quality services in the state of Oklahoma, perhaps due to income limitations, being underinsured or uninsured, or for some of our population, they have just come out of the legal system and they want to experience some rehabilitation and become contributing members of Oklahoma society, and so we want to be a part of that mission.
You know, addiction and mental health issues in our state. So do you see the need growing for what you guys can do?
Absolutely. We do not see the volume going down. We see the need going up. So we appreciate any kind of assistance we can assist, and we will be making good use of this donation.
Parrish Devon Injury Lawyers making this possible today. This is going to stretch pretty far.
Yes, and in particular, we have an event coming up called Art Awakening on September 28th from 4:30 to 7 o'clock at our 2617 General Pershing Boulevard main site. This is where our clients contribute their art, and they sell their art, and all the proceeds go back to our clients. And so
how great is
that?
that?
Exciting to put that towards that event, make
all
it
right.
special.
Paul, our law firm is in the business of helping people, and we proudly support anybody else that does the same. Congratulations.
Pepper wins.
New tonight, a minister in California and his family are back together again. He was temporarily detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, but has since been reunited with his wife and kids. Crystal Cruz has more.
Together again, Minister Noe Carillas, originally from Guatemala, reunited with his wife and kids.
I want to thank my Lord God to do this miracle for me, and I'm feeling like a free man.
The Los Angeles minister was detained 2 months ago and held for crossing the border illegally in the 90s and evading deportation orders.
I was crying for when I see suffering my babies, my wife, suffering a lot for this separation.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement told us in July Carillas is a repeat immigration violator who's used multiple identities and nationalities to evade them, and that he's been removed 3 times from the States. His attorney says Carillas has been checking in with ICE for years, trying to fix his immigration status when the arrest happened.
I was surprised that officer decided to arrest me in that time, and it was very terrible for me.
To know that now he's out, it's a big relief. So it's like it's a first step to hopefully at the end getting his case approved.
Carillas is married to an American citizen. He works in the community and doesn't have a criminal record, according to his attorney. So his family, now hopeful, he'll eventually be granted citizenship.
I'm trusting in the Lord. We've been praying a lot, and we see that God has responded today.
That was Crystal Cruz reporting. Due to a backlog of cases, the minister may have to go back to Guatemala and wait while all his paperwork is sorted out. CVS Pharmacy taking on America's opioid crisis by limiting opioid prescriptions. We've got your back with the changes that you'll see at the pharmacy and why experts think this change will help.
And this past week, we've averaged about 90 degrees for your high temperature, which is 7.5 degrees above normal, which means we felt more like June than September. But fall is on the way with some much needed rain, too. I'll time it all out coming up in your Storm Watch forecast after the break.
From the Fox 25 studios in Oklahoma City, this is the Fox 25 Primetime News at 9.
CVS Pharmacy taking on America's opioid crisis by limiting opioid prescriptions to 7-day supplies. We've got your back with what this means for you. Here's Rudy Koski.
The new policy by CVS limits the filling of prescriptions to 7 days for pain pills like hydrocodone, phenitol, and oxycodone. The policy is the first big effort by a major pharmacy group to address the opiate epidemic in America.
The United States uses 99% of the world's hydrocodone, despite having only 5% of the world's population.
Will Glaspie is the DEA special agent in charge for Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. He told me the abuse of prescription drugs has provided a foothold for drug smuggling operations, and he welcomes the help in the fight.
I don't think anything's too little too late. I think we've got a national crisis right now that has to be addressed at multiple levels.
The CVS policy also comes after Texas has joined an investigation into the marketing and sales of prescription painkillers. In a statement issued by Attorney General Ken Paxton, the goal is to collect enough information so that the multi-state coalition can effectively evaluate whether manufacturers and distributors engaged in unlawful practices. Tuesday, the coalition announced that subpoenas and requests for information were issued to 8 different companies.
The challenge, of course, is making people understand that there is a legitimate link between the abuse of a medicine cabinet and some shadowy figure on the street corner dealing drugs. And that's how this traveling exhibit comes into play.
This ribbon-cutting ceremony Friday at the Texas Museum of Science and Technology in Cedar Park opened the DEA exhibit, Drugs, Cost, and Consequences. It features confiscated drug labs taken out of homes and out of jungles. Shows how addiction can destroy the mind and the body, as well as testimonials from local victims.
It really took a turning point when prescription drugs got involved with opiates, and then that wasn't enough, so we went to heroin.
According to the CDC, 2 million people are hooked on painkillers. In 2015, 33,000 deaths from overdose were reported in the U.S. 2,500 of those deaths were in Texas.
And people don't talk about it.
Museum founder Toval Hessel hopes the exhibit will break the silence and force a community-wide discussion.
When you hear drug abuse, people are thinking about homeless people under the bridge. And the thing is, no, it is not. It's moms and dads, you and me. It has nothing to do about how much money or educational level.
The exhibit will be in Cedar Park through the month of June. The CVS policy starts the 1st of February.
That was Rudy Koski reporting. Fox 25 meteorologist Carlo Fackel joins us now. And Carlo, tell me more about how I'm totally going to be able to wear a sweater pretty soon.
Oh yeah, we're going to see ourselves some real sweater weather coming our way. It's finally going to feel like fall because those temperatures, they're falling. I worked on this pun so long. Check that one out. Temperatures are falling. Ah ha 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 ha. Hope you get that one. Tons of clouds for tonight, rain Monday, basically all the way through Friday, as we do have ourselves a cold front which is going to be running our direction. Right now we do have some scattered showers out to the west, maybe a sprinkle out towards Guthrie, but that's really about it. A lot more moisture down into Dallas where it's been good, hot, and humid, and there's a ton of moisture right in here. Showers and thunderstorms moving through the Abilene area. Those are going to move far enough north that they are going to collide with this now stationary front, but this low pressure system is going to gain a little bit of strength, and that's going to turn that stationary front into a cold front and really start to move it through central Kansas in through central Oklahoma, and that's really going to fire off some more of those showers and thunderstorms. Not for tonight, at least for the Oklahoma City metro. Low temperature right around 71 degrees, which is right around where we've been the past several nights, even though we've been way above normal. Low southerly winds about 5 to 15 miles an hour with showers and thunderstorms possible to the west. So for your morning commute, really looks pretty good. We are going to have to watch for some rain showers and thunderstorms later into the afternoon as those showers start to move in basically from noon onwards. High temperature tomorrow, 81 degrees, 60% chance for showers and thunderstorms. Here we go. Monday, tomorrow, right at 1 p.m. Low pressure system starts to gain strength, starts to tap into some colder air up to the north. The jet stream starts to get involved, and it starts to push these showers and thunderstorms across Oklahoma. By 10 a.m. on Tuesday, cold front just to the northwest of Oklahoma City. As we get into Wednesday, that cold front's finally pushed through Oklahoma City, but still off and on showers and thunderstorms, and much cooler weather sinks in for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We're talking about high temperatures into the 60s. Now, where is it going to rain? Well, tomorrow before noon, all of that rain is going to stay out to the west, but that storm system is going to slowly march to the east. So noon to about 6 p.m. tomorrow, slowly pushing east. We finally get the serious rain between about 6 p.m. and about midnight. So keep that in mind. Give yourself a little bit more time as you're heading home from work, and maybe bring yourself a rain jacket and an umbrella in case you have to walk any type of distance as you get to your car. Tuesday before noon, more showers and thunderstorms as that cold front just drags its feet moving across Oklahoma. We do expect the biggest rain totals out towards the Clinton-Hobart area, where they could see upwards of about 3 inches of rain. Your 7-day forecast, a lot of rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Showers and thunderstorms expected. Temperatures will fall into the upper 60s for highs on Wednesday and Thursday. The coolest temperatures actually come Friday and Saturday once that front pushes through, and those lows into the low 50s.
It is a colorful celebration in Broken Arrow. Coming up, you'll get a look at some amazing chalk art and hear how the artists say the event actually helps them perfect their craft. 16 years into the war on terror and the battle that began after the attacks in America is showing some signs of success, but knocking ISIS down in one spot means battling hardened fighters are turning up in other places. That happened this summer when ISIS-linked insurgents took to battle in the Philippines. Cheryl Atkinson traveled to Southeast Asia, and she has more.
These tropical islands and pristine beaches disguise a dangerous reality. We're invited aboard military fast boats accompanied by heavily armed commandos. It's the safest way to see the worst areas. Our guide is a hero in this long-standing war against Islamic extremist terrorists, General Lito Sobihana. He heads up a joint task force of the Philippine military.
That island is the island province of Basilan. I was stationed there in the 90s.
Fighting Abu Sayyaf.
Fighting Abu Sayyaf.
Abu Sayyaf is considered one of the most violent Islamic jihadist groups. Muslim extremists in Mindanao have been conducting a terrorist campaign for an independent Islamic state since the 1970s.
We've had reports and information coming in that there's been foreign fighters from Saudi, from Yemen, etc., down in Mindanao for 4 years now.
Gene Yu is a former Green Beret with U.S. Special Forces. He says with ISIS losing its footing in Iraq and Syria, seasoned fighters fleeing the Mideast are now showing up in the Philippines, where there are many sympathizers.
These guys are battle-hardened fighters or terrorists that have survived essentially the war, going head-to-head with Western military and special operations.
In May, fighting escalated when hundreds of terrorists attacked the Philippine Army in the region's island city of Marawi. After months of fighting, 400 terrorists were dead. So were more than 100 civilians and Philippine troops.
We've talked to some observers who really want this to obviously get under control because they fear people like the Islamic State and other extremists could see this as an opening, this region, to come in and spread more ideologically based violence here. Do you worry about that happening?
Well, I think there are indicators that they are here already.
They're working to keep a migrating threat in the war on terror from establishing a new beachhead in Southeast Asia. I'm Cheryl Atkinson for Full Measure.
In lighter news, the streets of Broken Arrow got a lot more colorful this morning. Dozens of people harkening back to their childhood drawing on the sidewalk. It's the 5th annual Chalk It Up Art Festival in Tulsa. Each artist got 100 square feet of space, or 10 by 10, to strut their stuff and a chance to learn from each other.
For me, it's more about these artists, actually getting to experience other artists, kind of cross-contaminating different means for expressing yourselves.
There were 63 competing artists this year, 33 booths, and the event coordinator said that she lost track of the number of performers. And it is football season, but we're all talking about basketball. Fox 25 Sports Department's Myron Patton has more.
Yeah, it's not often you can knock college football off the lead role this time of the year, but Carmelo Anthony coming to Oklahoma City did that yesterday. He'll do it tonight. We'll talk about his impact on the Thunder. What impact does it have on Russell Westbrook and his contract situation? We got a lot of different tentacles on that to talk about. We'll also talk some football. Cowboys lose their first game of the season. Oklahoma had a tougher than expected game at Baylor. NFL's going on today. Yeah, we got a full show coming up at 10 o'clock on Fox 25 Sports Sunday. We'll be right back.
Fox 25 meteorologist Carlo Falco has one more look at our forecast and the reason we might want to have that umbrella handy.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a good idea to have that umbrella handy, or the rain boots, or the rain jacket, or all of the above, just because we have ourselves a good shot for some rain coming for tomorrow. Looks like this right now on surface analysis. There's a low pressure system out to the west that's going to bring a cold front through Oklahoma City as we go through tomorrow afternoon. That said, dropping your kids off or making them walk to school, looking pretty good. Picking them up, though, might be a little bit on the rainy side, so you might want to have a packable rain jacket for them. They can stuff it in their bag and then pull it out as they come on home. Better chance for rain Monday afternoon and evening. High temperatures in the 80s, low 70s for Tuesday, upper 60s with more rain for Wednesday, Thursday, lows in the 50s.
Hey, maybe you've heard Carmelo Anthony is coming to town. He's here. But are the Thunder done? There may be some more players coming the Thunder's way. We'll talk about that when we come up in sports.
And don't forget that we've got your latest news, traffic, and weather every morning. Start your day with Chris Stanford and Jasmine Anderson from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Good Day OK.
Well, even though the Oklahoma City Thunder haven't officially been able to announce their trade for Carmelo Anthony, they did send Sam Presti and a few Thunder personnel to pick him up at the Will Rogers Airport this afternoon. So that's a pretty decent sign that it's happened. The arrival, of course, capped with a throng of screaming Thunder fans. Trade is expected to be approved tomorrow. And a lot of moving parts with the Thunder roster as training camp begins Tuesday. Yahoo.com's The Vertical website reports the Thunder have agreed to terms with point guard Isaiah Cannon to a non-guaranteed deal. Thunder already have guards Russell Westbrook, Raymond Felton, Samaj Christian in camp, all capable of running the point guard spot. So he'll have his work to cut out for him if he wants to make the team. So with all that Thunder stuff going on, we did have some football to dive into yesterday. And I would say most people around here were surprised by what they saw with the Sooners and the Cowboys. And with those results, you see the latest top 25. Oklahoma did not move. They're right where they were a week ago at number 3. Penn State, USC, Washington at number 6. Second part of the top 10, you see Georgia, Michigan, TCU, after beating the Cowboys, moves up to number 9. Oklahoma State drops from 6 to number 15. Something wasn't right in Stillwater yesterday. For one, OSU was without a few key pieces on offense. Offensive play calling was suspect. Defense looked tired and couldn't get stops when they needed. And the turnovers, a couple of key turnovers, including Mason Rudolph's fumbling demons returning in the second quarter.
The fumble there, I think it was the first half, so that was kind of a drive killer there. And then early there in the second half on a little screen pass, they made some freak plays and adjustments we made that we didn't execute as well. Some plays that we kind of drew up and had a good feel for, but just didn't execute.
All right, OSU's next game is Saturday. You can see it right here on Fox 25. Cowboys take on Texas Tech. We'll have a big old post-game show afterwards. As for the Sooners, it wasn't pretty, but it was a win against winless Baylor. Oklahoma got out to a nice 14-0 start, even had a 99-yard touchdown run by Abdul Adams, longest in school history, but couldn't shake a scrappy Baylor team. Defensive issues. Jordan Thomas had a rough day, not much pass rush at all. Mental mistakes on offense, but the bottom line, OU is now 4-0.
Winning's hard, and you can't take it for granted, and we're damn sure not too good to appreciate it. And so we got to do a lot of things better. We got to coach better. We got to play better on all 3 sides of the ball. We had some critical mistakes that let that game get close, so we've got to do a lot better, but we will.
All right, OU's off this weekend, but then in October they're playing every weekend. The Iowa State game and then the big OU-Texas game October 14th. Kansas State and Texas Tech rounding out the month. To the NFL, former OSU running back Chris Carson got his first start at running back for the Seattle Seahawks at Tennessee. Came up with his first NFL touchdown, catching this pass from Russell Wilson, but his team lost thanks to former OU star DeMarco Murray, 115 yards rushing at 75 on this play and a touchdown. Titans win 33-27. Coming up, it is Fox 25 Sports Sunday. So much more on the Thunder's big move. Is there another name possibly coming? Dwayne Wade's name being thrown around there. We'll get into that. We'll tell you what's going on with OU and OSU football teams as well. But first, it's Traver's Takes. That's coming up next.